So, do you think the police can sit on private property and radar gun people? It's a question that might have crossed your mind, especially if you've ever been surprised by a speeding ticket you didn't see coming. The idea of police officers using private property for radar gunning is a complex one, and it's a topic that can stir up a lot of curiosity and even controversy. You see, the police can use private properties to catch speeders under certain circumstances, but it's not as simple as just setting up shop wherever they please. Stay tuned as we unravel what rights you have as a property owner and what powers the police actually hold in these situations. To put it simply, police can use private properties to catch speeders under certain circumstances. Now, you might wonder, what are these circumstances? Let's get into it. Firstly, the most straightforward circumstance is when the police have the explicit permission of the property owner. Simply put, if you own a property and you grant the police permission to use it for radar gunning, they can legally do so. However, there are other situations where the police might not need your permission to use your property. For instance, in cases of hot pursuit. This term refers to when the police are actively chasing a suspect who is attempting to evade capture. In this scenario, the police are allowed to enter and use private property if it aids in the capture of the suspect. This doesn't mean that they are permitted to remain on your property after the pursuit has concluded to use radar guns for issuing additional speeding tickets. Another situation where police can use private property without explicit permission is under the Open Fields Doctrine. This doctrine states that the police can enter and search fields, forests, and other open lands without a warrant, even if they are privately owned. However, this doesn't extend to structures on the property, like homes or garages. It's also important to clarify that the Open Fields Doctrine does not automatically allow for active law enforcement activities, like radar gunning on private property. The doctrine primarily relates to search and seizure rules. So, while it is possible for police to radar gun from private property, there are specific conditions that must be met. It's not as black and white as it might initially seem, and the rights of property owners still play a significant role. Remember, the right to enjoy and control one's property is a fundamental one, and it's important to be aware of how this intersects with law enforcement practices. But what if the police use private property without permission? Now that's a question that piques interest. Picture this. You come home one day to find a police cruiser parked on your lawn, radar gun in hand, clocking every speedster that passes by. You did not give permission, so what now? Well, as the owner of the property, you are well within your rights to ask the police to leave. Yes, you heard that right. The police might be in the business of enforcing the law, but that doesn't mean they're above it. Your property, your rules, and the police can't just set up shop without a valid reason or your say-so. Remember, it's always good to stay respectful and keep an open mind. Maybe the cops are on your property for a reason other than nabbing speedsters. You never know, so it's worth giving them the benefit of the doubt. While you can ask the police to leave in certain circumstances, this does not necessarily invalidate any speeding tickets they may have issued while on your property. Sometimes the tickets may stand, and the speedsters will still have to face the music. It might seem a bit unfair, but the law sees it differently. The focus here is on the violation of the speed limit, not where the police were when they caught the speedsters. But remember, while the police have a job to do, they can't disregard your rights as a property owner. If you can't sort out the issue with the police as a property owner, there might come a time when you'll need to consider getting legal advice. So, to sum it all up, whether the police can use private property for radar gunning is not a clear-cut yes or no answer. It's a matter of circumstances and permissions. When a property owner grants the police permission, they can certainly use the property to catch speeders. But even without explicit permission, situations like hot pursuit, possession of a warrant, or open fields can also permit police to enter and use private property. However, it's important to know that this doesn't let the police freely access all private properties. If they're on your property without permission or valid reason, you can ask them to leave. Remember, the right to enjoy and control one's property is a fundamental right. So if you're a property owner, it's important to know your rights. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more informative content. Thanks for watching.